This boy was barely the size of a finger, yet he was the biological son of the giant king. Even though he was a prince, everyone freely mocked him. Every time he went outside, he was robbed. This was already the third time he had been left with only his underwear. Though everyone saw him as a fool, he had a dream to become the greatest king. One day, Boji ran outside the castle to play, when he suddenly spotted a shadow creature stealing money. Startled, Boji turned to run, but the shadow caught up with him and demanded he hand over his money. Boji stammered silently, trying to say he had none. That's when the shadow realized Boji was deaf and mute. But strangely enough, they could communicate without issue. Boji felt warmth in his heart, but the shadow didn't care. He pulled out a sword and told Boji to take off his clothes. Boji obediently handed his clothes over. Feeling triumphant, the shadow told him to return tomorrow, and to bring something more valuable. Boji nodded eagerly, and ran back home, happy as ever. The next day came quickly. Boji returned, just as promised. The shadow was surprised. How could someone be so happy about getting robbed? What he didn't know was, Boji just wanted a friend. The shadow was the only one who could understand him. From then on, Boji visited him every day. Slowly, they became close. Curious about Boji's background, the shadow secretly followed him. When townspeople saw Boji in just his underwear, they all laughed at him. Even little children mocked him, yet Boji kept smiling. That made the shadow feel guilty. When Boji returned to the palace, the shadow was stunned to learn he was a prince. That's when Boji ran into his stepmother, the queen. She was furious to see him always half naked, thinking he was disgracing the royal family. She told him harshly, if this continued, he would never be worthy of the throne. Then she turned and left with disgust. A royal swordsman used sign language to tell Boji to get dressed. The king wanted to see him. In his room, as Boji dressed, tears finally spilled from his eyes. But in the blink of an eye, he wiped them away and smiled again. Then he ran off toward the king's chamber. The shadow saw everything. Only now did he realize, Boji wasn't foolish at all. He was simply enduring everyone's mockery in silence, while hiding deep pain in his heart.